You may think that when you come over here and get married to a white man or a German, life is going to be easy.
There's a lot of mental health problems.
Women, even when they have seen the signs, they want to stay on because they're ashamed to say they have failed in their marriage.
Our women come educated. They come here already with degrees. They come here with a lot, and we notice that the women are doing odd jobs.
Marriage should not be a means to an end.
Finally, he got so angry with me that he actually beat me up. He even broke my leg. And I was so scared of calling the police because I thought that was the end of me. My name is Beatrice Velde, and I'm a Kenyan. I am a resident in Germany since 1999, July. And currently I'm self-employed. I am focused on renewable energy. When I came to Germany, I just came for a normal visit. I came to visit my girlfriend in Bad Hamburg, and then there was what we call a carnival in Cologne, and I met someone who actually ended up being my husband. There are so many hardships when you're new here. The language is one thing, because when you get into a class, first of all, they start teaching you in German language, which you hardly understand. And for me, it was really, really difficult because I've never spoken German before. So it took me almost a month to get a few words here and there. When I came over here, I was a politician in Africa. I was one of the pioneers of democracy in Kenya in 1992. I got elected and I served for 5 years as the youngest woman. Europe is not a bed of roses. I have tried it myself, and I have realized that, like every other woman would dream of coming to Europe, I also dreamt the same. Little did I know that it was going to be very difficult for me. When I got married, of course, when I opted to doing my own things, my husband kind of became a bit jealous, and he didn't want me to be self-employed. So there were a lot of hiccups here and there. So, and there was so many commotion in our marriage that at one point of time he became very aggressive to me. And every time you feel like you're a slave, because normally if in this country your marriage doesn't last for a certain period of time, by law, it's null and void. Because I'm naturally a fighter by nature, so I ignored him and still followed my career. And when I was close to realizing my career, that is when now he started making a lot of problems for me. Just because without his signature, then I was not allowed to stay here any longer. So I was kind of just depending on him. Every breath I took, everything in my life was just about him. He was all over my life. Because every time he threatened me, if you don't do this, I will not give you the signature. If you don't do that, I will not do this. And finally, I said enough is enough. So I just decided to continue doing my own thing. And so normally when you're in that kind of a state, the government doesn't actually give you a permanent stay. So they decide to keep you pending and give you what we call a duldung. And I got this duldung for 6 good years. I could hardly leave the country. I could not leave the city. I could not even visit my parents. I was just under their care until the day they said they were doing their investigations about our marriage, etc. But I still didn't give up on my career. Every time there was an exhibition somewhere, I would sneak out even out of the city of Cologne and go to exhibitions because I still thought that would actually free me at the end of the day. So finally, he got so angry with me that he actually beat me up. He even broke my leg. And I was so scared of calling the police because I thought that was the end of me. I was so scared I couldn't even call the police myself. The neighbors heard me cry, and because they have been hearing me being beaten every now and then and they were just quiet, this time around they couldn't take it, so they decided to call the police, and my husband was asked to leave the house and left me there for 6 months.
So I decided to come and look for some green pastures like everybody else who would like to come to Europe and think they are, we plant money from the trees, and that was the idea I had. When I came, it was totally different. Well, that even getting a job here before you get married is impossible. My education wasn't that university level because my mother couldn't even pay my fees.
Women in Europe face a lot of challenges when they come from Africa. Most of them, the language barrier and integrating. Coming from Africa is usually a community, so you come and you don't find people that you know closely. So before you adjust, it takes time, and that can create a lot of loneliness.
There are so many people, so many women who got stuck to where they started. As you know, moving into a foreign land is not easy.
When you live from one place to another, the first few years are very challenging, but sometimes it just depends on how you handle those. And also, if Africans in the diaspora can remember where they are coming from, then they have a better chance of sharing their problems. They do say a problem shared is a problem solved.
It takes two to hide that law. I do not understand why I have to be told you are deported because your marriage isn't straight. Why did that man marry me in the first place if it was fake? Why is it that the black man, the black woman has to be punished? I never gave up.
What I've seen is, I would say, especially our people, there's a lot of mental health problems, because after the problems that most of us came here, some are socio-economics, some are just family issues, some are just looking for green pastures, really. There has been people suffering depression, and some of them didn't know what it is, and struggles, and making money, bringing their families up. Those have always been problems.
So anyway, in short, I want to tell you that never give up on your struggles. Remember, I had opened a company in 2003. My dreams were not over yet.
We've got so many women, again, like you said, who've gone through domestic violence. Now, those ones have become more like mentors, so they come in to help other women.
The root of this situation comes from lack of understanding.
There are many women who have not been able to come in open, but after holding events and meeting people you would know personally, or somebody out there knows somebody, you meet somebody and talk to them, they are able to come out and get some help. And as a result, I'm sorry to say, some families have broken down completely because women have ran away from their husbands because they have known there is a way of living away from abusive relationships.
So many people are depressed, and so people are dying because of the depression. Still back to the same thing, not connecting with the women, not having the right people around you. You don't forget you're here on your own, and you don't have your relatives to talk to. And sometimes the problems you have here, we tend to not share it in Africa, how it is. And we can go home with this big money that we've been trying to save and spoiling everybody. And at the end of the day, you know how hard it is here, and you can't say it.
Sometimes women, even when they have seen the signs, they want to stay on because they're ashamed to say they have failed in their marriage. Because there is a way that people can stop this. And also, ironically, that report also said sometimes the more successful or more educated the women are, the more they want to hold on into this relationship that are so abusive, because they don't want to be seen as having failed.
My father, as I stand here, I'm not crying of the past. I'm not crying of what I have gone through in this government. I'm actually showing them that you can finish an African woman. Now companies are looking for me. I'm the one who is introducing them to the Kenyan market. Currently, I'm in the renewable energy, a male-dominated field. I'm actually doing about 120 megawatts, which is approximately 3 million euros. I personally have a project of 40 megawatts, which is approximately 100 million. And this is because I never give up on my dream.